don't win the day by doing everything right. You win the day by mastering your mind, even when everything goes wrong. Most people measure victory by checklists. Did I finish the task? Did I hit the numbers? Did I get the reply, the praise, the progress? But the Stoic doesn't think like that. He measures the day by who he became through it, because external results, they're unpredictable. One phone call, one delay, one no, and the whole plan changes. But your mind, that's your territory. And winning that battlefield means no day owns you. Marcus Aurelius woke up to wars, betrayals, sickness, and still wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So here's the truth. Victory is not a result. It's a standard, a formula. And if you live by it, you win, whether the world applauds or ignores you. This formula doesn't come from hype. It comes from execution, from choices that feel small in the moment, but stack into something unshakable over time. Today might throw chaos at you, but if you've trained your response, your focus, your integrity, you don't just survive it, you own it. And that's what we're here to build, a formula for winning the only battle that matters, the one between your higher self and your weaker impulses. The Stoic formula for mental victory is built on 3 pillars. 1. Intention over impulse. You don't wake up and see how the day goes. You decide what kind of person you'll be before the world tries to decide for you. You wake up and ask, what's in my control? What standard do I want to meet, regardless of how I feel? When you act from intention, not reaction, you don't just get more done, you become more focused, more grounded, less touchable. Seneca said, if you don't know what port you're sailing to, no wind is favorable. You want to win the day? Start by aiming at something real. 2. Discipline over mood. Most people let energy decide their effort. They're productive when they feel like it, focused when they're inspired. Stoics don't work like that. Discipline means you move even when it's not comfortable, even when it's not exciting, even when it's inconvenient. It's the ability to say, I don't need to want it, I just need to honor my code. That's what separates talkers from builders, not motivation, discipline. 3. Response over control. The world won't bend to your plan, but you don't have to collapse every time it doesn't. Mental victory means saying, the situation changed, I didn't. My tone stays steady, my focus stays tight, my character stays mine. These 3 together form your daily armor, not for show, for survival, not for ego, for command. Because once you live by them, you stop needing life to be easy, and start becoming someone who can win no matter what. You want to win the day? Then start it on your terms. Before you touch your phone, before the noise finds you, before the world has a chance to pull you in 5 directions at once, you set the tone. That means you wake up with intention. Even if it's 1 sentence. Today, I move with clarity, not urgency, or no reaction without thought, no action without principle. Next, you ground yourself in discipline. Doesn't need to be fancy. 10 minutes of focused work, 1 task completed without distraction, 1 promise kept to yourself. Not because it looks productive, because it trains your character. And throughout the day, you choose your response. Someone's late, you stay centered. Someone's rude, you stay steady. A plan breaks down, you stay moving. Because that is victory, not in results, in restraint, not in praise, in presence. You win the day not by doing more, but by doing what matters, with consistency. And if this resonates, if you're tired of chasing wins that feel empty, if you're ready to move like someone who's in command, then stop just watching. Subscribe, not for motivation, for mental structure, for reminders that strength isn't noise, it's mastery. Because in here, we don't just consume content, we build code, we walk with rhythm, we win with intention. When you live by this formula, intention, discipline, response, you don't just win days, you change how the world experiences you. You walk into a room and people feel it. You're not rushed, not distracted, not easily moved. There's weight behind your silence, there's focus behind your actions. You're not proving anything, you're executing. You no longer need validation to stay centered, no longer need motivation to move forward. You've traded hype for rhythm, and that rhythm speaks louder than noise ever could. Your habits shift. You stop cramming. You prioritize. You stop multitasking. You target. You stop reacting to life. You lead through it. You become a person who doesn't panic when things go wrong, because you've already rehearsed the internal playbook. And that makes you rare, because while most people measure their day by applause, you measure it by alignment. Did I stay focused when it got noisy? Did I stay steady when it got chaotic? Did I lead with purpose, or did I chase comfort? That's what winning looks like now. Not flashy, not emotional, but unshakable. And here's what happens next. When life throws something unexpected, you don't fold. You tighten your grip on the code and move forward anyway. Because your identity is no longer built on outcomes. It's built on ownership. There will be days that hit harder than expected. Plans collapse, people disappoint, energy crashes. That's when most give in. They label the day a loss and spiral, but not you. Because you don't measure success by ease, you measure it by execution. And when it's dark, you lean harder into the formula, intention. I will not be led by this moment, I will lead through it. You revisit your core. You don't negotiate your values just because the day feels off. Discipline. I don't feel like it, but I move anyway. You do the minimum necessary with maximum presence, not because it feels heroic, but because it protects your momentum. Response. You don't let the chaos control your tone. You don't speak just to be heard. You don't act just to relieve pressure. You choose command over collapse. That's when you know this isn't just a strategy, it's your operating system. Because even if the world doesn't go your way, you still end the day with peace. Not because everything got fixed, but because you didn't lose yourself inside it. And over time, people will notice. You don't win more because you're lucky. You win more because you lose less control when it matters. And in the long game, that's what separates warriors from wanderers. Not the score, but the stability. This isn't about having perfect days. It's about building an unshakable rhythm, so that no matter how unpredictable life gets, you don't lose control of the one thing that always belongs to you, your mind. Because once you live by this formula, intention, discipline, response, you don't need to dominate your environment. You just refuse to be dominated by it. You stop chasing momentum. You create it. You stop fearing failure. You learn faster than it can shake you. You stop relying on emotions to move, because you've built standards that carry you through even your worst days. And that makes you dangerous, not because you're louder, but because you're clearer. Your presence isn't heavy because you're angry. It's heavy because it's directed. And when life hits, you don't fold. You tighten your grip on the code and move forward. That's the Stoic win. Not to feel good all the time, to remain in command, even when nothing around you agrees. So now the question isn't whether you're smart enough, strong enough, disciplined enough. The real question is this: how many more days are you willing to lose, just because you're still letting the world set your rhythm, instead of you?